What's up, squad? This is Brandon from the Bantu Sun. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, want to talk about latest release about the Somali president Mahmoud writing a letter to President Donald Trump of the United States, basically giving the U.S. exclusive rights to some ports and bases within Somalia, and most importantly, Berbera, a major port town in Somaliland. So, for those that don't know, Somalia is basically barely hanging on together by some bubblegum and shoestrings, as they say. But and a more somber note, Somalia has really had problems dealing with the governance within inside the country, and there are many breakaway regions, many various clans which are seeking separation or have started such, and the central government have not been able to bring these countries or these regions to heal. Puntland being another one, Somaliland being one, in various regions of the country. And I found this interesting because we just heard President Sadaki of the Congo do the same thing not too long ago, talking about under duress from M23, which many people are being backed by Rwanda. President reaching out to President Donald Trump about offering mineral concessions to his country. And basically, these are all ploys for these governments to get a strong backer, such as the U.S., to basically underwrite or give them security for their regime. First and foremost, it's really, first and foremost, it's unfortunate and repugnant because African countries, many people in Africa and leadership of Africa talk about U.S. imperialism. But this has always been my point. When a stressor occurs, when there's a threat to their power, the first thing they do is seek to get support from U.S. imperialism. You know, America is something you can bash to get elected, but when the chips are on the table, at the end of the day, these are people that want to be in power, and they'll do it by any means. If that's by bashing the U.S., they'll do it. If it's by allying with the U.S., they will do it. And it's just comical because President Donald Trump, the man that infamously talks about shithole countries, his interest in Africa is below nil. It is absolutely below nil. So the fact that they're reaching out to this guy, probably thinking he has, he's a guy that's willing to make a deal. The way he looks at it is, he got the entire northern hemisphere for his pleasure. He got the United States, which is filthy rich in resources as it is. He's on his way of pretty much taking over Greenland. Canada, if he gets lucky, with an eye on Panama. So he has all these, as well as striking up a minerals deal in Ukraine. So he has a lot of things. There's really not much Africa can offer him at the moment that he is in desperate need of urgently. As well, he's not interested in building those relationships. So he's interested in building a very strong, fortified, and resource-rich United States of America. So in the northern hemisphere. So this is, I think they're barking up the wrong tree with that. But it also talks about this situation. Also talk about how Ethiopia has the Horn of Africa running scared because nobody's know who they're going to basically try to co-op in their efforts, being the most populous country, landlocked country in the world, in their efforts to get guaranteed unfettered sea access, which they feel entitled to. And it's hard to tell 100 million people no. And with President Abiy Ahmed really advancing the country right now, solidifying the country right now, it's only a matter of time before he settles down and say, hey, give us our Red Sea access. So he got a couple options there. And Eritrea is one. There's a lot of contentions there. Many people think it's going to be a war. Somaliland is another one, a breakaway region of Somalia. This is the part of the land that Somalia wants to give to the United States. Because I guess they say if the United States come in, recognize Somalia as a sovereign government, that will put the kibosh on these Somaliland rebels. And so this is now conversely, is needs a way also to guarantee that Ethiopia won't send troops in to basically provide security to Somaliland, basically ensuring the nail in the coffin of Somaliland separation from Somalia. So Somalia is very concerned about this, and it also kind of reveals that the talks of Ethiopia and Somalia talks, this rapprochement being negotiated or brokered by Turkey and President Erdogan in Turkey, isn't going as well as one would see, because I'm very surprised for the president of Somalia to reach out directly to President Trump. I find it to be, I don't want to say desperate, but I found it to be extreme. I mean, Somalia is no friend of the U.S. There's a great antagonistic history, especially everybody knows the famous Black Hawk Down situation, incident that occurred within Somalia when special forces tried to basically acquire an asset, and they were met well with aggression. It was a bloodbath pretty much, and the Somalis were ready, and the warlord that the special forces were trying to get to was able to elude them because of such a situation, and they suffered massively. And kind of America's like, okay, let's just send drones over there. Let's send drones, missile strikes over there instead of sending our special forces again. So all this to say is, what is Ethiopia next steps? Because what is making Somalia feel so insecure at this point in time? And you have to think something's on the brink for this level of rapprochement between Somalia and the United States. I cannot express enough how antithetical these two sides of the coin is. As far as the United States being a Christian Western country in the Western Hemisphere, Somalia being, some would not even say a full country right now, because there's so many broken and fragmented parts. Reaching out to them with this great antagonistic history, with no, how should I say, no affinity towards Western democracy and capitalism, all these things. Somalia really operates on a different realm. And so it's going to be real interesting to see what it evolves. But one thing for sure, Ethiopia says they will not be denied. So I'd love to hear your comments, your insight. What have you heard or anything in the news about the Somalia and the Somaliland situation, especially regarding the situation with Ethiopia? Don't forget, Ethiopia supposedly had guaranteed access with Somaliland to the sea. And all Somaliland really want is recognition by Ethiopia. Like I said, but this would make Ethiopia guarantee, basically a guarantor of the state of Somaliland. So make sure you leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Until next time, take care. Bantu up.